What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Trendy TV Tuesdays. We are on episode 3 of season 1 for the Peaky Blinders. And joined with me tonight is the recurring cast of Gord King, Emperor Good, and Bex Electronica. How is everyone doing tonight?
Oi.
Oi.
Yeah, I've smoked my opium, so I feel much better. So
yeah,
taking care of the flashbacks.
Opium pipe pretty good last night, and yeah, got a couple hours.
Sometimes I have dreams of Prometheus, and really opium's the only thing that can make that go away.
Yeah, and it's kept looking at my wall, thinking that something was going to claw through it. Of course,
Damon Lindelof is what I'm usually thinking is going to come through my wall.
Yeah, well,
that would be horrifying.
I suppose there could be worse things that
Alex Kurtzman.
Yeah,
I mean, those are the two competing options there.
Yeah, it's true.
Dave Filoni. Okay, I take it back. That could be worse.
Kathleen Kennedy.
She's got that turkey neck. I'd kind of hear that flapping as she came.
Pedro Pascal would be pretty bad to come through a wall, especially if you're a guy.
Especially because come through the wall doesn't necessarily mean enter into.
That's true. Yeah.
James Gunn.
I would just inform him I'm not Jewish, so I'd be safe.
Well, safe for this episode, which there might be some takes tonight, so we'll see. But it's okay, because not every episode is going to be perfect. Not every season is going to be perfect either. And I think this is something that we mentioned from the start, where when you have a show that only has 6 episodes and you're trying to cram information and trying not to lag in the plot movement and the character development, sometimes you can kind of trip along the way and speed things up and then slow things down and maybe force some things to happen, which we do see in this episode. So if you haven't seen it, spoilers ahead. But yeah, let's kind of dive into this. Vex, you said you have some interesting points of this episode. And since I know we're limited on time for your time here tonight, why don't you kick us off here while I share the screen on some stills and whatnot.
Okay. I don't think this show is as great as everyone says it is 3 episodes in. I think it's very average. It definitely has its strengths in a lot of the technical elements, but what this episode more than the previous 2 revealed is that the writing is kind of poor. And by kind of poor, I mean it's very simple. So it like the setups for foreshadowing are super obvious. Like they're not even clever, especially because now 3 times in a row they happen in the same episode. Like with this episode, it was like it was something with the. It was with the I don't even remember. It was it'll come to me when I see the still of it, right? Mm-hmm. But then also like the dialogue doesn't, it's kind of lacking like the depth that I guess like the show is trying to go for. So it's this haunted, somewhat shady war veteran who's he's trying to get back into the rhythm of what things were before after experiencing kind of like the horrors of war that still haunt him. And now he comes back and it's a different place. It's a different time. And he's a very different man. And so there's an interesting setup there, but I don't feel like the show adequately uses it. Like, it was Polly was talking to Tommy and she's like, "You're not ready for another war. You've already seen enough death in one lifetime." And then of course, not even 10 minutes later in the show, he has a war flashback, which we haven't seen so far. And on top of that, like it's trying to rush things like the relationship between him and what was Sarah is the barmaid, right?
Grace.
Grace.
Oh, Grace. Sorry. Oh, yeah.
They were calling her like Lady Sarah.
Yeah. So it's like they're trying to rush that as well. And it's like with characters like this and with a setting like this and a narrative like where they're trying to go, sometimes you just need to let things breathe and you don't need to be so overt in your dialogue, like in the sense that you don't trust your audience. So it feels like every scene has to have an explanation of some sort of emotion or what the bigger play is, because the writers don't trust the audience to be able to remember what happened in the previous episode or to connect two dots. And that's telling of just modern television in general. Like a lot of Netflix shows do that. Waylon had mentioned one that was on Prime in the Discord, like, but yeah, Prime shows do it as well.
Yeah.
So it's really disappointing because like this has some of the best sets and costume design that I've seen in modern television. You can tell Cillian Murphy he's killing it. Like he is trying to give it his all. And this is like 3 episodes in, I can confidently say this is the best thing I've ever seen him in performance wise. All the other support cast are also really trying to get you into the thick of this very specific time frame with this specific lifestyle. And those all work, but again, it's 3 episodes in, and Waylon told me like the end of season 1 is much stronger. Season 2 is definitely better. So like I'm just waiting for this show to kind of take off. And because everyone's just been hyping it up for so many years, I'm a little disappointed. That's all. It's just it's average to me so far.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. It's why when we were talking about like different shows with Peaky Blinders, I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe a couple of seasons. But even like first season, there are some moments, or at least like introduction of characters, where it was like, this is really interesting, and then it just kind of dies for a bit, and you're like, why aren't we going back to this character? Well, we're trying to make it complex with all of these moving parts, and I was like, yeah, but there are better ways to do it. I think again, it's like, the what really kind of caught people, their attention and why they like it is, as you said, I mean, the design itself is really good visually. It's fantastic. Cillian Murphy's killing it. Paulie is phenomenal. I mean, her charisma is just oozing up. I love the line where she's like, I'm twice the man you are.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, she kind of is. But yeah, I think as a whole, the story is kind of ramshackle. The writing isn't that great. There's a lot of on the nose stuff, and again, it's not like modern day crap, but it thinks the audience is not paying attention or second screening it, or again, the writer just isn't that great. And it was especially noticeable for me because I just got done reviewing The Bounty, a movie that conveys so much with no dialogue, little looks, set up, and drawing it, where you see the kind of dissolution of order and relationships and all that. But it's not, let's talk about my flashbacks or all that, right? It is glances and just the way that people interact and social distance and all that. And then you go to this, and it was like, this is feeling really on the nose right now, and it's not doing well by comparison.
Yeah, and it's like some of these, I know, again, we're only 3 episodes in, but like on the point of like the more plot lines means it adds more depth. It's like some of these plot lines I just don't give a fuck about, or like they could have been developed in a better way. Like, so what was the sister's name again? Anna.
Ada.
Yeah.
Or Ada, sorry.
Ada. Yeah. So Ada getting married to Freddie. I was like, so what is this? Freddie brings up a good point later on in the episodes, like when Tommy's like, oh, you just married my sister because it's all part of your like communist ploy. And he's like, no, I actually love her. I'm just like, dang, like Tommy actually said something that could have been an interesting way to like add some tension subliminally, but you only just say it in a one-off line here, and it doesn't matter for the other, like the rest of this episode and the previous 2, where we learned very briefly about Freddie's, political leanings, and that just him and Ada are basically just boning. I'm like, dang, that's something you could have let breathe a little bit more, instead of Tommy being just like, oh, like I'm fine with him marrying her and I want to send them flowers and all this shit. It's just like, maybe give us a bit more reason, maybe build that tension. Like, you guys have known each other for basically your whole lives, but again, the show just skates over it. Even Paulie, to an extent, it's where like Paulie ran this business for several years while all the men were gone at war, but she feels like that's only really brought up when they want her character to be the contrast to something that Tommy does. And I'd like to see more strength in that character, because that's what kind of builds the layering, and that's what makes the narrative richer. On top of that, like, Sam Neill is the primary villain for this season, and this is the most we've seen him, and this is the most that we've gotten maybe a little bit of information of where his head is at, aside from just like, I am the law and I try to do what is right, and what is right in the face of the law kind of deal. But he is not very well developed as a villain, and in this episode I just didn't feel like he had any influence or was bringing any worry to like Tommy and the rest of the Peaky Blinders, because they were so focused on a fucking race that he kept talking about a fucking dress for literally 2.5 episodes, and nothing came of it. They were at the race for like all of 2 minutes, and then it devolved into Ada becoming, a fake prostitute for
Grace
shits and giggles. Like Grace becoming a prostitute. And it's like, this whole buildup for this subplot went absolutely nowhere. You didn't show me really, like, there was the one-off that we saw in the opening episode with all of them writing the numbers and the tallies and counting the money, but you didn't show me why the stakes are so high for this, why it's so important that the races are rigged, and why it works out a certain way. Like, you just showed me fragments of what you're trying to tell, and you didn't tell it. Sorry,
yeah, a lot of I would say part of what this show has a problem with so far, aside from, I do think pacing is an issue right now. I actually agree with something Waylon said last night. I'm not particularly fond of the modern music they insert into this. It takes me out of the movie. It takes me out of the show. I'm not especially fond of it. I think the issue with the dialogue is there's not nearly enough of it that serves the characters. It's mostly just moving the plot forward.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought it up. I was going to bring it up also, that they built towards the races being this big thing, and all it really seemed to do is it was a way to get the Peaky Blinders in the good graces of
Kimber.
What's his face, Kimber,
Billy Kimber.
And I guess the idea behind bringing Grace is I guess the idea behind that was to kind of distract him, give him some kind of something to have his attention on. I don't think he necessarily knew that he was going to want to take her, but it's like, okay, he just rolled with it and said, hey, if you want to work for me, fine. It does beg the question of, well, if she had not made the move to try to get into his employ, how he would have handled that whole situation, because that would have changed the dynamic. So there's that. But yeah, a lot of this dialogue is really just moving the plot forward instead of actually developing the characters. I totally agree about the whole thing between him and his friend / now, I guess, brother-in-law, who all we kind of know about him is that he's a communist who, I guess, loves the sister. And I'm like, well, if they've known each other for a long time, kind of seems to me that he might be aware of that fact. I am curious as to why he doesn't act as though that he knew that at all.
Yeah, especially because they served together in the war. I mean, they were both sappers in the tunnel.
Right.
And apparently have known each other kind of all their lives.
Right. I think the real problem with a lot of the writing is you have Tommy, who is a character, and you have a lot of NPCs that exist to help flesh out Tommy. Like, the conversations aren't so much about demonstrating who they are and that they have agency and independence and they're doing a thing. It's more, we exist to make Tommy look more complex or have to deal with all of these things, rather than, again, having the kind of the complex dynamics of real characters doing real shit, often at different times. Now, I do think that improved a bit in season 2. But even then, you're kind of looking at him going, yeah, I don't really know that much about you. I don't really care about you. I mean, the thing with Arthur, where he's having the Flanders blues, and it get you a pub, and I was like, the fuck did this come from? Right, in this episode, because you don't really see Arthur being affected by anything, and really the only reason that we know that he's having some sort of depressive moment is because somebody said it, because the actual interactions are kind of just there. And but here's your pub, have a nice day. There, I solved it. But it was mostly it existed to go, Tommy is basically juggling all these people and trying to do right by certain people, and others he's much more forward and brutal with, and clever and conniving and all that. But it's easy to be clever and conniving in this world because everybody else is kind of stupid,
right?
and two-dimensional. I mean, Sam Neill, to be fair, in prior episodes, they had already kind of set up his relationship with Grace, that he knew her father, that he, at first the way he's conveying it is, like a daughter, but it's clear that's not what's going on. That he has, and that's why the little interaction, but she's like, you don't have to protect me like a daughter, and he kind of like moves and does the hand clasp, and he's like, thank God I can now be, and it's like, bro, you ain't gonna be the one. Right. Sorry about that. But he's also like the cuck of this one, because like even the cops are making fun of him because they served in the war and he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a dig from the previous episode where when they're in the neutral territory, and Tommy says, why would I shake your hand with someone who didn't
even serve
his country? And then he decides to use that against the police force that he's now leading. But it's like, most of my men were over in France, and but at least we served. And he's like, oh, I'm serving my country every single day, here. It's like, but it's a different way of looking at it from a certain point of view, I suppose. But like you weren't in France, so you're sitting behind a desk here, spying on people, as the sergeant says, and it's like, no, it's not spying. They're operatives.
They're operatives.
And
actually, okay. All right, thanks, Sam.
Operatives.
Also, the introduction of the IRA is pretty shit in this.
Yeah,
it was so offhanded. Like, I was like, that's a pretty big fucking deal to include in here. Yeah. And you just toss it aside like that. And coincidentally, the new woman that you can tell Tommy doesn't fully trust happens to be there, and she happens to be listening in and is able to capture all of this information. It's like it undermines Tommy as a smart, like, suave, like, con man, to like not be so aware of his settings. But also, just on the note of Sam Neill, like, we've just had jokes thrown at Sam Neill's authority for 3 episodes now. And that's 3 episodes where your primary antagonist, the thing that is supposed to be your greatest driver of tension for the season, is continuously undermined. Like, you're not setting up a very good villain when you're just poking fun at him all the time. Also, lol, Whitey, I agree with you. This show is kind of making me wish I was smoking still. Like, True Detective season 1 did that too. I was like, damn, I could really use a cigarette or 12 for this one scene. Like,
yeah, and I think too, it is unfortunate to see some of the setups pay off this way, because it's like, when you're looking at it from the aspect of this is where we're at half a season through. How is it?
Oh shit! It's 6 episodes.
Yeah.
This is where we're at, half a season. Holy shit!
That's what I was saying. Like yes, they're an hour long, but when you're choosing the scenes to write, and you're going along with these plot lines in the character development, it's like you really do have to be very careful in your decision making here, because it's like you have to make every minute count with only 6 hours worth of a story. And like, yes, while you might have in your idea that when you're writing for a network or whatever, and like, well, okay, like they really liked it, and okay, they want me to write a season 2, I've got more in mind. I mean, like I think anyone should have, a well thought out plan in the event things can continue, of course, not get, caught with their pants down like the Duffer Brothers from, Stranger Things. And it's like, oh, they liked season 1. Oh crap. Well, now we got to figure out what the hell we're going to do for the rest of this whole IP here. And I won't list other examples, but we know plenty of them. But it's like this, and I think that's what works so well for old school television, where like you're getting 18 to 24 episodes in a season that really allows you to. And yes, I understand you run the risk of like, it's just the monster of the week or case of the week sort of repetition, but you do have like a
there's an overarching storyline that each episode contributes to. Yeah.
The thing is, there are shows that have managed to kind of pull that formula off, and that's kind of, in a way, that's sort of what maybe the episodes so far have been missing. Is usually with an episode, of a drama series like this, there's kind of a plot within the episode that is also setting up the next episode. So you feel like something is accomplished by the end of the episode, but you're like, but not all of it. So you have something to look forward to.
Yeah, and you can also have bottle type episodes where, you know, it's purely about this one localized thing, but the one benefit of that is that you get a better understanding of the character for things that may happen later. You know, build that up. But again, we don't have the world. The world seems complex, but it's mostly because they're writing a bunch of things happening at once and hoping that the whirling dervish of bullshit makes you think that it's complex when actually it's just kind of chaotic and messy.
Yeah, it's like I think the last actual sitcom show I watched from, you know, like some sort of cable TV was The Blacklist, you know, and which started years ago.
Yeah, that had a good duality of both, you know, bad guy of the week thing, but also and some of that tended to reveal the capabilities, but also you had the overarching thing with his relationship with his daughter.
Yeah, like there was an overall mystery that like every episode they would kind of hint at, like, so it's like the overarching plot of the entire season would still move along, but it's like, oh, I got a new number of The Blacklist, because it's like, well, that makes sense because there's like how many people on the blacklist, you know, that can be, you know, a new character, a new story. So like it definitely kept things entertaining. But yeah, like I feel like when you're condensing, you know, a show into 6 hours, and it might be considered as like two or three movies at that point. But there again, like it almost doesn't fit in that format either, because it's like saying if these first 3 episodes were one movie, I mean,
these are miniseries. Stop calling them, you know, TV, you know, series or whatever. They're miniseries. And
100%.
And again, if you're going to do, all right, well, I've got, you know, 6 hours, you better tell a fucking story, and it better be pretty tight. And yeah, you can drop little hints about what may happen in the next one, but this needs to be tight and self-contained. You can't look at it and go, oh, I've got 5 seasons, you know, 30 hours or whatever. And it was like, yeah, but you've only got 6, and then there's going to be at least a year before we see another 6.
Yeah. And again, I think for Stephen Knight, like the idea of, and I think he kind of lucked out because of the performance Cillian Murphy gives us, and which, I mean, I agree with Bex. I think this is definitely like his best character. I mean, even though, like I understand he won an Academy Award for Oppenheimer, which granted he did a good job in that too, but for the sake of this episode and what I thought it was about, and how the other characters in this episode, like they didn't feel 100% important. Kind of like when he's like looking for Ada, and doesn't try to find Ada and goes to his brother. You know, I was like, Arthur, what's wrong with Arthur? And it's like, oh, he's got the blues. And it's like, all right, well, let me go find him now. And he's like, you know, drinking in a church, which, you know, not that Arthur was very religious to begin with, but it's just maybe some civilization there. But anyway, like I think for Tommy, excuse me, it it's definitely trying to convey, or Stephen Knight's trying to convey his grasp over the aspects of other characters in the family and in business, where it's like Polly tries to do it her way and it doesn't work. And Tommy is saying, like, we tried your way, now we're doing it my way because my way works, and it will work, but we don't see how it's going to happen in this episode. We just hear about it. So now we have to spend the next couple of episodes wondering, well, when's that point in time going to happen? You know, what's going to happen with Freddie? What's going to happen with his sister? With, you know, Sam Neill here with Inspector Campbell, like he doesn't have very much utilization at all in this episode. And yeah, like he kind of just gets made fun of, which like he kind of got roasted in the previous episode. So to have him belittled 2 episodes in the role is like demeaning the antagonist of this first season here, because I wouldn't quite call Billy Kimber an antagonist. More so, he's just
there's an obstacle that you have to overcome.
Yeah, I was like, he's just
he's in the way of their promotion, and you know, again, there's nothing wrong with having your antagonist be competent first. Then the antagonist underestimates protagonist, gets set on the back foot, and then tries to deal with it. But I mean, this is very passive for this guy who very actively was working in Belfast, dealing with IRA and and the problems between the Protestants and Catholics and all of that. To him, just sit here and kind of fiddle and wait for a woman to do the thing. This episode really kind of exists to pump up Grace and Killian's character, right? Thomas. That's it. And it doesn't really succeed because the obstacles they're overcoming or the characters they're having, characters, and I use with strong quotation marks, around them aren't like real. They don't really have any weight. The confrontation with Thomas and the communist brother-in-law, Freddie, is kind of a mess. Other than and I think the whole reason that it exists is to have having Thomas say, you knew she's a Shelby. You're just trying to marry in because this and that, whatever. And Freddie kind of looking at him going, you really believe that, don't you? And it's a statement of how Thomas sees the world and how that doesn't really match up with what's actually going on. But Thomas reduces everything to it's about the family and the business, and you have to keep insular because you can't trust people outside the family and all that. And Freddie's looking at him like, bro, this ain't just here, let me sneak in and get power or whatever. I've had crush on her since I was 12. She was 9.
Right.
And this is all right. Slow down, brother. But the but again, the fact that this never came up throughout their life, and in wartime and all that.
In wartime, especially, it should have come up because you guys could have died at any second, and it's like you don't want to die with that's a thing that you hear of in a lot of real war stories, that people confess those sort of things to others in their final moments. And this is just you just throw that casually in a line of dialogue, like bruh.
Yeah, and again, that Tommy, didn't go, yeah, I know, because you were always asking about it. You may not have expressed, specifically that you were in love with her or whatever, but whenever I got a letter from home, you were always asking about her. What did you hear about her? And yeah, I'm not stupid. I put 2 and 2 together, but no, it just out of nowhere, surprise, motherfucker. Here we go.
I honestly think Grace's character has been introduced way too early in this show.
Yes.
I agree.
I don't even know if I would have a character like this in season 1. Let us get to know, the Shelbys. There's a couple things I would probably leave out of the first season because I think there's way too many conflicts going on. You've got, the whole thing with Billy Kimber. You've got, the things with Sam Neill, and you've got the Lee family, which I still don't have a firm grasp on that conflict other than the few little bits they've dropped about it. But apparently that's going to play a part in the upcoming episodes. I know that these first 3 are the lowest rated of the season. Yeah. It gets a bit higher with season 4, then 5 is even higher than that, and then the last episode's the highest rated of the season. So apparently, like, the Lee family thing is going to get more important, but I feel like they stuffed way too much into this without a whole lot of thought on how to balance it all out. And there's maybe 2 characters, maybe 3 even, that I feel like I have a decent grasp on who they are. But yeah, it's like there's just stuff they're introducing way too quickly. And I think Grace is the one who sticks out the most because I'm like, her being introduced into the mix at this particular point before we've really even gotten to know Tommy. It's like if you introduce her later when we've gotten a grasp on his character and how tough he is and how,
season
kind of
finale,
apart
maybe
from
throw her in there.
Yeah, it's like the way he's supposed to kind of stick out from the rest of his family as, the smart one, the more business oriented one, maybe even the most ruthless one. It's like all of that. If we could build all of that up and get to know him in this way, and then you throw her in late in the season or maybe in season 2, it's like that's something to where it's like I feel like you could use her far more effectively, because so far it's like she kind of feels like she's in the way.
Just to add on to like what you're saying, because yeah, the way too much going on. I agree with that. Grace too early, totally agree with that. Because yeah, 3 episodes in, we know more about Grace than we do about Tommy, which is pretty fucking weird. But also like I think if you wanted to like do a stronger start and actually like get some personal stakes going for this first season, especially, I would have had this like happen with like start off the season with Tommy getting off the train, returning from war. Do that. You can build the character up. You can build up like how war has affected him and changed him. You're actually able to establish like what the family is doing and how Polly needs to step down and how she was managing things instead of just telling us she was managing things. Like there's a lot that you can show that still establishes like stakes for like just the overall season as well as each individual character if you start off there rather than throwing us in a mix and then just making every character talk about how this is and how that is. Kaiwo.
Well, and also I would say that it's not only too quick to introduce her in relation to Tommy, but it's also too quick to bring her in relation to Sam Neill's character, because I feel like if he brings her in later because he's not making up enough ground and he's kind of having to, like incompetent or just he's outmatched and he has to, use this ploy that he's really uncomfortable with. Like maybe you have a pre-established relationship, not necessarily romantic, but a relationship between his character and Grace, and you can tell it's like he's conflicted about doing this, and you actually have some backing behind that. You have the fact that he's kind of failing in the struggle.
Informant or something, right? That's a man, but an informant that's local or something like that. That guy gets found out, gets killed. Now he's kind of on the back foot and has to call her in because this is really the card he doesn't want to play. That makes more sense. I also think Sam Neill was introduced too soon in this.
Just to toss in real quick too, like on the Sam Neill note, because he throws again just half-heartedly in a line of dialogue when the other officer comes in. Oh, if we send cops over there, they'll know and they'll scatter. And it's like, cool. Why didn't you show us you doing that earlier so we know that, hey, maybe I need to send in a spy, or that the classic law making tactics don't work. Like,
right. You need to show that he did kind of the standard. I'm going to find an informant. I'm going to lean on him. I'm going to get him to do a certain way, and that busts out. And because the Peaky Blinders just have better OPSEC, or because of the family ties, it doesn't work out. All that. Okay, now I need to come in a different angle, and I'm using a woman that I really, this is kind of. I'm sketchy about this, but this is the only way in. But I think so the way the writing is, because I have the benefit of having seen additional seasons, but so what you were talking about, where you have Tommy come off the train and Polly's running things and all that. Oddly, that gets saved for later seasons. Not so much him coming off the train, but the dynamic of the family and who's in charge of what. And all that, right? I mean, you get hints of it here where Polly's like, what about a family meeting? We don't
do this anymore.
What the hell? We're not doing this anymore, whatever. Right. It gets much more direct as we go. But that's kind of the weakness of the beginning of this, is that they kind of rush in and want to establish some stuff and don't take the time to at least make these people credible and make them interesting characters. It's like in later seasons where you go, oh yeah, now maybe we should build these other characters up. And I was like, yeah, but you kind of screwed them over to begin with, and some of them I may never get invested in.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, and I agree with most of what you guys are saying, where I would have liked to seen less of the subplots happening in these first 3 episodes. And I do have the advantage of knowing what happens all through 6 seasons, of course, but I'm trying to look at this the same lens as you, Vex and Gord, where what do I feel like so far in these first 3 episodes, and I've been trying to remove my not so much excitement, but my priviness to seeing where these character arcs actually lead to, which, you know, again, up to this point, when you're looking at the dynamics of the family, and, you know, it's like, where's Johnny Boy been? Because he just kind of like pops up out of nowhere when they're getting ready to go to the races, right? Or he's, you know, sees Tommy in the alleyway, and he's the one who tells, you know, Arthur's like in the, you know, feeling down right now, and Arthur just kind of, you know, is depressed because Tommy's like, oh, well, you know, I didn't know about Ada and Freddie. I didn't know about the IRA that got shot. I didn't know about the guns, Tommy. And it's like, I mean, yeah, like in some cases you could say, well, Arthur, you're not the head of the family anymore because I'm kind of running things now. But in Arthur's mind, he is, or he was.
He's oldest.
Right, as the eldest. But you know, that was established in the previous episode. Like, okay, well, you're the youngest. You're the thickest. You're the oldest. That means you're the boss. But Arthur doesn't really care so much about what Billy Kimber says. But at the same time, it's like he's not the one striking a deal with Billy Kimber. It's Tommy, because he's the strategist here. And I do think if there's any quality within this episode, it is the fact that Tommy is providing this strategic movement, but it does feel rushed in some cases, because it's like he's trying to handle the whole, you know, brother-in-law aspect with Freddie. And it's like, you know, he could have killed him right there on the docks, or that's right, in that little hole, you know, which doesn't happen, of course. And so like you're like, okay, so what's happening now? Where is this leading to? Like he didn't run him out of town. So like what is his way? You know, because Polly gave him 200 pounds or whatever it is, and bought him a ticket, and he's like, you know, sorry, your money's not good enough. And then the threat from Tommy at gunpoint, where it's like, that's not good enough either. That's not going to do it. Even though he says to Tommy, I actually love your sister. But it took all this time to get that out of him, which just, yeah, it does feel a bit weird. Like you'd almost think that when you know that any day in the first war could be your last, especially in the job that they had, that would have been a moment as brother in arms, they would have opened up to one another and, like, you know, been like, Tommy, man, I got something on my chest. What is it, bruv? I've always loved your sister, man. And like at that point, like maybe things would have been less tense between them, even though it's like, well, you know, like, yeah, you turned to be communist after the war, but it's almost like, you know, there would have been like this less tension to be like, oh, you're just trying to get in the family name and the family business. Like, it's like, no, dude, like I told you this during the war when I thought we would die at any moment in time. We almost did die, but yet here we are. So maybe have a little bit more respect for your friend, but we don't see that, right? And whereas we see Danny again too, which I forgot about that. That was, again, like I don't remember everything about the earlier seasons because it had been a while, but I forgot that Danny comes back, and it's like he was just sent away and with his death faked at the end of episode 1. 2 episodes later, he's back from London going like, hey man, IRA might be coming for your head. So just like watch your backs. Which, yeah, like again, I think it's kind of a rushing it again. Like I agree that the introduction to the IRA just felt so lackadaisical, where it's like you'd think that there's no one in the bar. It's just you and two gents from the IRA and this, you know, barmaid, which you don't fully trust because you don't fully know her from a hole in the ground, aside from the fact that she can sing you to sleep and that she's, you know, fairly attractive to look at, and
Kimber likes her, so
right, okay, you might be able to use her as a tool or device, which is exactly what he uses her, because it's like, oh, well, guess what? We've all had to make sacrifices for the Shelby name, the Shelby business. So get in line or get out, or you know, or just kind of go on your merry way. No one's forcing you to work at this bar, which, oh, we own now, so I can kind of fire you at any point in time too. So if you're not going to do what I say, guess what? I'll find someone else that would probably want to make a couple shillings. So it's like he keeps saying like earn your stay, right? I'll earn those 3 shillings or quid. I forgot whatever it was, but it definitely feels very centered around their relationship, so to speak. Which again, I don't remember all of, but I do remember that. I do remember the end of this episode when, which I laughed at again because like, no, don't do it. She got the clap.
Yeah, she I mean,
which is like, oh shit, really? Damn. All right.
But the other thing is that she's already acted suspiciously around Tommy before when she's asking about Freddie, when she does the women talk, and he's like, "That's what women do." And she's like, blah blah blah, and then and men, keep it upside, and that's what men do. And she's like, well, maybe you should open up. What are you planning to do with Freddie? And I was like, bitch, why are you asking me questions? Who the fuck are you? Right?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, but also should cotton on to this is rando asking me questions. And I don't care, if you think she's attractive or not. Tommy's not stupid.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't suddenly just get pussy whipped and forget everything that's going on. Or if he does, he's suddenly not nearly as dangerous and credible as you think he is. As what they've tried to portray him as.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
again, it's just a rush. It's I want to get to this point, and I'm skipping the steps and not really earning it.
Right. Yeah.
Which is always the mark of I've got a sus writer here.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting from the, again, like we call Kimber as like this obstacle, right? Where even like something like this scene too, like I felt it was kind of pointless because we already know that he's still in town, so it's almost like we knew that he would do another little gathering again, which you don't really see any further repercussions about, except the fact that it's comes back to the inspector, right? Who then the sergeant sees Tommy at night again. And it's like, hey, by the way, we know that your boy's in town, so I thought you were going to handle this. Well, listen, if you don't, well, we could arrest your sister for 4 years. So either give us Freddie, or your sister also gets locked up with it as well. So like, I mean, there is some tension, but it's like, I almost would have preferred to see that storyline accelerate more, but I understand too, like where they're just trying to focus more on Grace here because she is inserted too quickly. Like I agree. I think if you would have made Inspector Campbell the primary focus of season 1, or even make Billy Kimber the primary focus of season 1.
I was about to bring him up. I'd like a little more than just his reputation at this point. I hope they flesh him out a little bit more, because I think he comes off as a bit like an over emotional goober. I don't buy him as like this big threat they're building him up to be.
Feels like a caricature instead of a character.
Yeah, he feels like somebody who probably has a bit of a little man complex, who is probably like subordinate to somebody else, but thinks he's more powerful than he is. That's how he comes off. Now, I don't know if that's what they're going for at all, because all we really have on him so far is his reputation, and I guess he tried to grape Grace. That's about it so far. So,
yeah, I mean, you have the bravado, when he comes in. We see him in the prior episode, and it's clear that he's he has ambition and has no problems using violence, but it's also clear that the accountant is actually the smart one.
Yeah, because I was going to say the accountant's the more interesting of the two by far.
Right, and it's why Tommy brings Grace. It's basically to get Kimber away so that he can talk with the accountant.
It's like, we're making progress. He's like, oh, well, let me add it to the deal here, right? And which, I mean, yeah, to Tommy, I was like, oh, well, if that's all it takes, then absolutely, we can totally do this. But I mean, yeah, like of the two that understands the business and how it's run, because the accountant is the one running the business for Kimber. He's like, oh, okay, well, I'm actually intrigued by these numbers, and if this is what we can actually truly make money on, then it would benefit us to hire the Peaky Blinders and have them, and it's like, yeah, they make an example out of one of the Lee families, so it's like, in the bathroom or whatever, which kind of forgot that they cut part of his ear off. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Kimber as a main focus point in season 1 that doesn't have any direct competition from Inspector Campbell. And if Inspector Campbell kind of gets introduced because of the ramping up of the problems in town in Birmingham, and then because it's like, yeah, we hear of it and we get the idea, it's there, but let's just like not skip over it and let's actually create more of it, write more problems. If it's a problem of the day, right, like we were saying, like what's the monster of the day theme, well, give us the problem of the day in a couple episodes, but they're serious problems, and that's what requires a man of Inspector Campbell's stature to come here. And then
that requires delaying the theft of the guns from BSA,
right? Which, I mean, you could include at some point in the in the first, maybe, I don't know, few episodes, but not like the first one, right? Which I don't know.
Again, I just think they're trying to do a lot of things. Again, they're rushing towards a certain story point, and they're kind of skipping the steps that's necessary. And they kind of first episode, okay, this is interesting. This is a little bit of weakness, but okay. Second episode, there's a couple of wait, what? But generally is all right. This one is where it just kind of falls off the tracks because of the work that wasn't done in the first 2 episodes. But we need to get to a thing, so here we go, and we'll just kind of speed rush it. Oh, and let's make sure that we got Grace and Tommy, because that's going to be important later. And it's like, just stop. You're not earning the destinations you're getting to, and it's costing you. And so they'll, when they finally kind of get back on the rails, it to be fair, it always suffers these kinds of things. No matter what season it is, they're clearly, I want to get to a thing and I'm going to kind of skip the work to earn it. But because of just the sheer, kind of momentum that you built over, 8 or 10 episodes. Okay, well then you can kind of look back and fill in the blanks with it. They're making the audience do a lot more work than really they should.
Yeah, I feel you on that, Jamo. Like I was saying, like I forgot that Danny actually shows up in this episode.
That was one where I was like, wait, I had forgot this, and I was much happier having forgotten it, because it doesn't help him.
This entire scene with him felt utterly pointless. I was like, okay, we already saw the war flashback. I didn't need this at all. This adds nothing for me.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it was basically, okay, we want to make sure that we show Freddy more prominently because we're going to have a thing, and fuck off.
Yeah. I mean, it's just dressed nice. Kidding.
Yeah.
Which I think is like the idea of this this nightmare he keeps having, which it's ironic that he's telling the guy who he faked to death with,
who's also in that
same
tunnel
nightmare. And and it's like, oh, he keeps thinking that something is going to come through that wall, and that he always hopes that the sun shines on it.
Pedro Pascal.
Every morning he wakes up.
Cool. Why didn't you show us this before when he was sleeping? Because we had a shot of him sleeping in episode 1, episode 2, and he wasn't scared of the wall then. He wasn't using the opium to try and cover that up either, but suddenly there's a fear of the wall. Like,
well, he does use the opium in prior episodes, but they're trying to be, again, it's I'm gonna give you a little glimpse of the flashback, but I'm not going to make it clear who's there with them and all that.
No,
and then, like, every
I'm
flashback
saying
kind of
that
shows more.
I'm saying that like it wasn't established during that opium scene where he was clearly trying to hide something, that there was something that's like fearful that he was trying to hide. That's what I'm trying to say.
It hasn't happened in prior flashback opium scenes that we've had. It's just it's more like I'm smoking it to get it, but now suddenly it's oh no, by the way, I'm thinking about the one, because again I showed you enough of the flashback that that now it makes sense. And I was like, yeah, but you could have done that earlier. You just wanted to be cute and make a mystery box out of the
right. Like it's just so much of the writing just feels like, again, like they don't trust, either they are that incompetent or like they just don't trust the audience to piece these things together. And it very much feels like I'm being spoon fed a narrative, but it's not like a fully cooked narrative, but I'm supposed to act like this is a fucking like Michelin star meal because everything on the plate looks good. Like I'm sorry, Nick and everyone else who likes the show, but I'm so disappointed so far. Like I was messaging in the Discord almost this entire episode and I was able to still pay attention. Like that's the mark of a so-so show to me, when I don't feel to be constantly engaged to still pick up on it. And it very much does it follows that Netflix. I know this is BBC, but Netflix was a co-producer for this, right?
Yeah.
But it just feels on brand for what they admitted last year, which is that we make content for you to just have on, not necessarily engaging.
Well, make no mistake, BBC has this problem with some of their shows too. Sherlock has kind of similar problems at times.
Oh Lord.
With, but now granted, to a far greater extent, like Sherlock is a very entertaining show that the moment you actually start to think about it becomes really stupid.
Yes.
So it's thankfully not suffering from those same issues, but yeah, it does have some similar issues with how how like it's paced and everything, and how like characters are treated and whatnot.
Yeah, they're just like cardboard cutouts that are there to make Sherlock look smarter, and then leaps that are just what the hell. And yeah, it absolutely misses the entire point of Sherlock Holmes, which is deductive logic. No, he's just he just glances at the thing and suddenly has supervision, and all right, whatever. But I think most of this is, I don't think this is an intentional let's remind the audience. I think that the writers actually believe they're being clever, which should tell you a lot about the writers.
They're incompetent, basically.
They're barely competent. I mean, there are certain things that they can do well, but they were probably like used to working in writer rooms where they would come up with an idea, but somebody else was weaving the larger whole. And then now they're in the position where, again, they can make scenes that are good or interactions that are good, certain threads that are interesting, but as they can't really balance the whole, they've kind of been promoted past their level of competence.
Weave the larger whole. That needs to be on a shirt for writers.
Or a pair of boxers.
Yes.
Weave
the larger hole.
The scrote.
Yeah.
Yes. Free the scrote, weave the larger hole.
Braid your pubes.
Or shave them.
I'm just
looks like a Viking chieftain down there.
It was alluded that like the Peaky Blinders are a pretty notorious and well-known gang, and I found it kind of laughable that the entire setup for this nice gala thing, nobody seems to notice who Tommy is at all. Like, was that just me? Like on first watch, I was really like. So far in the first 2 episodes, it's been like, oh, the notorious Peaky Blinders, Tommy and his family and all that stuff. And
right. So the problem is scale. So what we've seen in the first 2 episodes has essentially been the neighborhood, and they are known and everybody knows who they are. The Kimber thing and going to the horse races and all that, this is them stepping out of their territory, trying to expand. So they're going into areas where they aren't really known.
Yeah, like they're not even initially the main focus. Even when Sam Neill shows up, he's concerned about other things. Now, granted, he's also there because of obviously the gun theft and everything. But the gun theft is only because they did it. It's not because they're the primary goal at that point.
Yeah. In fact, he's surprised when he finds out that when Tommy says, "I have the guns."
Yep.
Because this is just basically like a neighborhood gang. It's got a fairly limited territory within Birmingham. And now they're kind of stepping outside of it. Cause again, this is the one thing that they kind of make clear is that Tommy is looking at aggressive expansion, and the others are like, wait, what? I mean, it's not how we did things, but he's going to come back from the war, and he's got a strategic vision that's different from everybody else's.
Okay. I don't know. I felt like, because usually in these types of plot lines where there is like a notorious figure and they're that well known, it's like even the people outside of their territory tend to know. Like even the police officers we saw in this episode were in on it when they were trying to get
but they're
Freddie out of
locals.
the equation.
Right, but they're locals.
The federal government also knows, which means it's been a trickle down, because Sam Neill's character is, he's getting tips from the police. So I'm just saying, like, the way that the narrative had been set up, it felt like this was a much bigger gang than they actually are. And
it's more because the little gang did a big thing. It's like they basically, by stealing the guns, they put they were put on the radar.
Well, they brought attention to the area, and so the intelligence for that area is, okay, here are the criminal gangs, here's the presidents of the IRA, the commies, all this stuff.
I mean, keep in mind, when they show up, they don't even really have a grasp on who's even in charge.
Right. And Kimber's the same way. Kimber comes in, he doesn't know who's in charge.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's again, these are small fish looking to move into a bigger pond.
Yeah, okay. Which is I think kind of goes in line with Arthur and Tommy in that one scene where it's like we have the guns now. Like it's us, the Peaky Blinders. Like we actually have some firepower. We can be a threat.
It'll be them in the mud.
Right. Mm-hmm. So if it ever comes down to that point, it's like hopefully they or it doesn't, but in the event it does, like they should be taken seriously because it's like trying to expand the business or and become a real player on the board, right? So I mean, I do think Tommy is over here trying to play chess, even if other people are playing chess or even checkers at that point. But Tommy hasn't had a real obstacle yet through 3 episodes. Like that's a serious issue because I don't even think he's that threatened by Kimber, because even to this extent in the episode, he knows that he's not the real shot caller, it's the accountant. So he just has to appease him by a woman in a red dress, and which he has second thoughts about, because it's like in that the last few moments of the episode itself where it's like, oh well, you call me some sort of ladylike name. We'll leave it here because who wants to look at a half a ear or part of a missing ear. I forgot what the name that
Lady Sarah Burble, whatever the hell. Yeah.
To prostitute
with
whore
syphilis.
And with syphilis, now to you saving me.
Yeah. Why did you do that?
Raped.
And
what changed? So what changed in you, Tommy? And like he's just mum's the word silent.
And I'm gonna be honest, I hate that trope. It annoys the living crap out of me when a question gets asked, it can be answered. The show's like, haha, we're not gonna answer it, therefore mystery drama. Ooh, it's like it annoys the crap out of me because you have to believe that by the time the next episode comes, like he didn't answer her either, probably, and so it's a mystery to her. It's like, so was it just awkward the rest of the way home because she asked a question he wouldn't answer? It's
like, bitch, really shut up, I'm driving. That's that should have been how it ended,
You're
or again, women talk, men don't.
Shut up, woman. I saved you. Now shut your mouth.
Yeah. Do things for my own reasons.
Yeah. There's this other thing called roadhead.
Yeah.
I know you don't have it, but
I know it's in the nature of women to talk, but stop.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like at the earlier on in the episode where she's like, "Do you want to talk about your feelings?" Women talk is like that. Yeah, because yes, that's one thing.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
and men are always bottling inside. That's what men do.
That's what men do, and then he proceeds to open up the newspaper and ignore the shit out of her. I did like that moment though.
Well, but again, that's the moment that he should start to suspect her, because she's asking too many fucking questions that are personal.
That's what I was thinking
that
earlier.
should really set off his radar to be like, wait, what the fuck?
Right. Yeah.
Well, and
exactly.
plus it's a missed opportunity for an like if there's one thing I'd really like to see in the show is actual like personal conversations that tell you something, even if they don't necessarily tell you it flat out. Like he could say a number of things in response to this question that make him come off as aloof or cold or something like that. I mean, he could say something like, it wasn't a fair trade, meaning the other woman or something like that. So, he could say something that's really hardened like that if he's trying to guard his emotions or something. It's like, give us a little something there, but it's just like, oh, silence, because I'm a mystery.
Ooh, I'm mystery. Ah.
Not going to tell you.
You'd like to know, wouldn't you?
It's like writers think that anytime a character doesn't answer a question, it's some kind of mic drop or something, and it's like, no, that's not.
No. Again, the only reason that works is because you turn the camera off, let it run. Let me see how that ride goes.
All right.
It's like that's not how people tend to interact. Yeah. Usually, if somebody asks you a question and you just give them the silent treatment, they tend to get pissed off at you.
Well, they start badgering you for more fucking. And they're going to ask more questions, and then they're going to end up walking, and you're going to be driving away. That's to be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah. It's again. There are. I mean, I think we can all agree that J.J. Abrams has been a bane on television for a good long time, because he essentially like revealed this one neat trick, to get audiences engaged or whatever, and it's mystery box bullshit. The problem is that he doesn't actually write well, and definitely doesn't do the hard work, like resolution.
Was J.J. Abrams behind Lost?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, that fucking
Damon
garbage
Lindelof,
show.
Damon Lindelof was a big part of it. Yeah, it's like the mystery box concept. It's half good. The problem is like there still needs to be something in that box.
Yeah. Other than dog shit, and that's the. But yeah, J.J. Abrams, again, it's the idea is if I'm in broadcast television, my job is to get an audience and then keep them engaged for as many seasons as I can. Mm-hmm. Right. That's the incentive structure that's set up. The problem is when you just do that, and then comes time that, all right, we need to resolve this. He can't, because he's never thought that far, and he doesn't want to. It's like George R.R. Martin; he never completes anything. And so once you reveal that it's just mystery boxes all the way down, that trick stops working. The problem is that's the only fucking trick he knows.
Yeah.
Dude, I just like on a side tangent, I can't believe how many people gassed up fucking Lost for so many years. That's literally like that's the retard indicator of television. If you like Lost, you're a fucking retard.
Just out of curiosity, did you follow it as it was going, or did you approach it after the fact?
After the fact.
Okay, yes, so to give context, it was because we weren't really familiar with the mystery box thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were banking on there being something inside, because there are good things about Lost. It's just where it leads to is just kind of a really retarded dead end in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And like what does get resolved is really dumb.
Yeah. It's like okay, I've got B's list of options. Which one's the worst? Okay, let's go with that one. But I think at the time, part of it is kind of social event kind of stuff, right? I mean, it was the same Game of Thrones. People are, I'm really amped for season 8. It was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Have you been watching the last 2.5 seasons? This thing has been on a downhill slide the whole way. No, but now we're really going to resolve. Oh, they resolved it. All right. Enjoy the hell out of that. Or people that are now shocked to discover that Stranger Things has been shit for a good long time. There was one good season. And then we get stumbled drunkenly for another 4. Part of it is just the social interaction of being involved, the water cooler talk and all that. But Lost, yeah, you could pick out about halfway through the first season, there's nothing here. This is just kick the can down the road. Ooh, here's a mystery. But there's an even bigger mystery behind door number 2. And wait till you see what's behind door number 3. Fuck off.
Yeah.
We're not saying Peaky Blinders is
It's-
lost, by the way. It's
No,
just
yeah.
No,
Again,
no.
side
I
tangent.
mean, I remember watching Lost on the way, and like, you know, I agree. Like that was before we really knew the truth about J.J. Abrams' style and approach to things, and I mean, you know, I'd argue like the first 3 seasons, there's definitely something there that was enjoyable to watch, but not to say that those first 3 seasons were perfect by any means, but definitely enjoyable at that time. I mean, that's what a lot of people watched and talked about.
It was the promise of a thing in the future. But I mean, those first 3 seasons, it's already been like, okay, here's the mystery. No, actually, this is the no, and then there's this and this one. And you're like, oh boy, this is gonna be such a payoff. No, it's not.
Yeah, and I'd say too, like the writer's strike that happened after season 3 for season 4 did not help because they already, like looking back and going back and watching it a second time, like years ago, it was like, yeah, they really had no clue where they were going, and then in the writer's strike shortened that 4th season, I think like to 10 or 12 episodes because they were normally like 20 something episodes a season. So you're already cut down on time, story, and season 5 again continues the mystery box, which is starting to get seen a lot more. And you're like, the hell is this smoke monster doing here? Like, what is this? Oh no, we got to go back to the island, guys. Like we're in back, you know, like it's being back to reality is not true and it's not actually real. We got to go back to the island. And it's like, dude, okay, you guys don't know what you're doing. And then yeah, the whole 6th season was just a cluster.
I mean, what was carrying the show was that people cared about the characters because, you know, and it's like one thing it's in its formula that I liked was, you know, when you would go from the island, you'd go to the past, you know, you'd be at the island, then you'd go to the past and you would develop the character some, you'd get to know a little bit about their backstory and, you know, how it affects like their behavior and whatnot. I'm like, okay, all that's really cool. And I think that's ultimately why people were so invested is because the show had these characters and let you get to know every single one of them. And most of them were very well performed. There is some really good acting in the show, but it's just the plot and everything that surrounds them is such garbage.
Yeah, again, it's the promise of a payoff that you just look and go, they're never making this payoff. There's no way. They've just built up bullshit on top of bullshit and it's Jenga now. But you know, this again, the Peaky Blinders kind of what you see is people, and this is true for a lot of TV shows and that followed that, is they don't go full JJ and retard brothers, Kurtzman and Lindelof, but they do try to steal people love the mystery, but so set this up, and then I'm gonna be mysterious. Woo! And it's like, nah, bro, just get a resolution. Either have him make a statement at the end that is a bit of a shock to her, or he just like dismisses it out of hand as, you know, I don't answer to underlings, or, you know, my decisions are my own. You know, I keep my own counsel. All right, that's shut her up, and it's established relationship boundaries, whatever. But no, we're not going to do any of that. We're going to hope that you show up next week.
Yeah.
And they're not sins in and of themselves, but they're indicative of a style of writing that starts to make you be suspicious of the writers.
And I know like we're really halfway through this, so there's still some, you know, there's still time to make up for what we're not getting, but I think that also is an issue because it's like, well, why didn't you do some of these things earlier on, or why didn't you rule out some things? And I think too, just maybe even looking at what I remember of the other seasons, where some of the latter seasons do have issues. It's sort of like if you would have spaced out some of these prospects from season 1 here and kind of just moved everything more down the line, then you could have removed some of the other problems that the later seasons have, which could have made them better. in turn because you're like not introducing Inspector Campbell so soon. You're not introducing Grace so soon, right? You're developing Kimber more, like the world building outside of Birmingham. You know, more about the Communist Party, more about the IRA, more about the Lee family, right? Because yeah, like, and again, like there's bits and pieces I don't fully remember from each episode. So, you know, I'm kind of remembering things from like, you know, several years ago, if anything, but, yeah, I would imagine that, whoever the writers were, aside from Stephen Knight, thinking that like, well, it's fine if we just kind of speed run, you know, these main storylines here, because it's like, you know, it's all about Tommy Shelby and anyone that's directly involved with him, which again, I not to say that like Polly isn't important because she is, and that that Arthur isn't important because he is too. Like every character definitely has a role to play in the entire Shelby family, but up through 3 episodes, you really don't have that feeling.
They tried to be complex too soon. You want to have like a single line that kind of starts and establishes characters and some of the relationships, and then you can branch and have 8 different things going, and then it all collapses back down to 1. But if you start right in the middle of everything is all complex and there's these 8 braids that are flailing around, boy, you better be damned good as a writer to be able to make that work, and they're not good enough to make it work in this.
Right. Which, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if you guys had like a favorite moment in this episode or not, which, I mean, I think the conversation...
When it ended.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh, no, because I didn't like hate the episode. I just thought it was very flat overall.
It's the weakest of the 3 for sure.
Yeah, easily. It's easy. Like the first 2 are like kind of towing that line between like, you know, 7 and 8 out of 10. This one is between more like a 4 and a 5. Yeah, it's not egregious. It's not completely awful. I guess I sort of like the whole like play with bringing him some money and stuff like that. It's like I guess it's more I like the idea of it. The execution of it's like it's still left a bit to be desired, because I was like, you know, I would have liked to have seen more of a reaction and a bit more dialogue of that negotiation. That's the other thing. It's like you've built to this, you know, to these races and their point. It's like, okay, it's clearly you're trying to get in bed with this guy so you can, you know, expand your business and everything. It's like, let us actually hear a conversation. Let us see him maneuver with his words and that kind of thing. That would be far more interesting than what we ultimately got. So,
just to add on to what Gord said. Yeah, I didn't hate this episode, but I just found myself insanely bored by it. So that's why I was glad when it was over. It's not the worst television I've ever seen, but it was not hooking me in at all.
Yeah, it has a lot of pacing issues, and there's no real like energy spikes, you know, that it's just everything is kind of no real stakes pop up, you know, and even the ending, you're kind of like, I kind of know how this is going to go. As far as like the best scene, I think it's probably the one where Shelby's basically delineating the difference between men and women, and you know how they deal with stuff. You know, and he's basically again very short. You know, she's like, you know, women talk. Yes, it's what they do. You know, the men. Well, they bottle some inside. Yeah, that's what men do. And then proceeds to read his paper. This conversation's done, right? You know, demonstrating. You know that that's you do in fact keep it inside, because you know, being a big emotional bitch is going to get you killed in this world. That's really the best of what happens in this, which isn't really great. I mean, the flashbacks and all that, again, it's, you know, every time he has it, it's like, oh, I'm going to show a little more. And I was like, fuck off, show it. Let's see the effect. I mean, we damn sure know the effect it had on Danny, because we saw him lose his shit, and you know, to the point that he killed a man while shouting "fix bayonets," right? So the PTSD really affects him. The fact that Tommy is also suffering this, but still maintains this columnist Polly said, damn them for what the war did to you. That you recognize that this isn't the same Thomas Shelby that went over.
Right.
He's come back with a different mindset. Now that may be excellent mindset for the business he's in and what he's doing and planning and all that stuff, but it's causing strain otherwise. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I this is like a 4 or 5, and it's a noticeable drop off from prior episodes. Again, this is kind of speed run. I want to get a bunch of things in, but half of it I'm like, well, cut it, get rid of it, and spend the time doing the focusing on the real things.
I can elevate this to a 7.5 with one change. Before she gets her skirt lifted, if Malignant Monster had come out of her head and stabbed him with excellence, then 7.5 easily.
Yes,
maybe
absolutely. 8. Yeah, it would have been great.
It would have matched with your dress.
Yes. Or chuck the chair at him across the room. It's like, oh, there we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
I want that to be in all of her shows and movies. If I see her, it's like if there's
shows
no
up every
tumor,
once in a while.
Yeah.
Listen, now it's gonna happen in real life because she's pregnant now. So now there's a malignant baby.
Oh my
gosh.
Malignantception. Let's go.
Oh boy.
It's like she sits down for an interview while pregnant and like it starts talking through the radios.
Oh, I want to rewatch Malignant now. That movie's so good. If people hate on that too much.
Well, it's not good. It's funny.
Not. It is shit.
It's really entertaining way. Like you're.
Oh no, it's super entertaining.
Yeah.
It is super entertaining. It's freaking hilarious.
Also,
Gemma,
sorry
what
to
would you
bum
give
you
this?
out, Gemma.
I mean, I understand for speed running it. No harm, no foul. I don't know what I would rate this episode. I haven't even checked online to see what other people I'd give this like on IMDb or whatever. But I think Gord, you said this was like one of the lowest rated ones, right?
It's as far as IMDb goes, it's the second lowest rated one. All 3 of the first 3 episodes are the lowest rated of the season. I think episode 2 is like an 8.2 out of 10. Episode 4 jumps to an 8.5, then the next one jumps to an 8.6, and then the finale jumps to a 9.1. Again, how meaningful that is, we'll see. But at the very least, it seems people were entertained more by the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that this is an imperfect episode, and it's just like it's just there to like take a step over a puddle of water, but it's like, do I really need to do that? I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, it should have stepped over the puddle of water. Instead, it went into the fucking barber shop and then headed over the florist and then went back, because it forgot to turn the stove off before it left, and then it finally steps over this puddle of water.
The curling iron,
the pacing on this was rough.
Yeah,
my wife and I were watching this, and she kind of looked at me a couple of times, and I was awake, but my lids were starting to get a bit heavy because it's just nothing is happening. Nothing of real, even like character conversations. I don't give a fuck if Arthur gets his pub. This was like the maintenance episode. We have to, all right, I got to get all these pieces in place because I'm going to do some stuff later. And it was like, yeah, you could have done that, a little bit at a time throughout, but this is just the cleanup. We have to do some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you see that ring on his hand? That's his pinky blinder.
Oh,
pinky, you got the pinky blinders.
When it catches the sun just right, it distracts them for the moment.
Right. He's getting ready to go out for a fight. He's polishing his ring. He's got to be just right.
No, good golly.
Damn, it's cloudy. I guess we can't fight today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what you guys think about. I mean, the next half of the season here, basically, where, I'm not going to say anything, but if I am watching this for the first time, it's like I am hoping that things that happened in this episode don't continue at this pace or lack thereof, because we definitely need to start seeing some progress here from our main characters. the main plot line, but like don't make the subplots meaningless too. Like, I mean, I'd say in terms of having to try and include so much of everything in every episode definitely can take away from it as well, where it's like I'm okay with not seeing Ada and Freddie in this episode period, because you're going to focus on the other things, and then you add more of them in that story in the following episode, because it's like there's got to be a fine balance, especially when you're working in limited time. Like this isn't a 12 plus episode type season here. It's 6. We thought that 8 episodes was rough, but I mean, like at 30 minutes of actual runtime, I mean, this is no better basically. But
well, I think also if you're gonna pull in the Ada Freddy thing, you better be doing some fucking character work, and not just I'm checking boxes to get to point where I can start plot again. Fuck off. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't want to see them unless they're doing something meaningful or because you have too little time and you have too many subplots running all at the same time.
Can I just add on the note of too many things going? You could really tell that there was too much going on in this episode, because I counted 5 times where they used fucking modern music as a transition instead of to elevate the scene. And that grated my fucking teeth. I was like, I already had an issue with the music, and now you're using it for pointless transitions halfway into the season in an episode where literally nothing has happened.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's a thing I didn't remember. Like, I always remember the main theme song, which I never had a problem with really. But it wasn't until I blame Waylon. He pointed it out. I'm like, yeah, like I don't remember this other modern music in here that really takes away from the ambiance of the setting. And
the worst part is the singing. The music itself, like
the instrumental.
I don't mind the electric guitar because it's kind of a bluesy mix of folk and stuff like that. But that ridiculously gay singing style. I
don't want to hear the White Stripes in modern movies, let alone period piece.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for 7 Nation Army to show up at this point. After I saw that the White Stripes was in one episode, I was like, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
It's like pre-Alien Earth with some tracks, maybe.
It's not quite that bad. It's just they're at least trying to get the music apart from the vocals to match. It's just when they keep it's like, guys, you can get this music without the vocals.
Yeah,
work 1,000 times
do the instrumental, shall we? It's be nice.
That's what I felt like in this episode in particular. I'm like, if they would have just removed the vocal tracks, it would have done wonders.
The vocal track was getting on my nerves.
Yeah. But I think I saw you say this in our Discord, Vex, where like, I mean, Cillian Murphy is obviously like carrying the shit out of this show, to this extent through the first half of this season. And again, Helen McCrory obviously doing a great job, but she's not nearly as much.
Yeah, Polly is barely in this one.
Right.
And Grace is a fucking plank, and she always was in this series. Mm-hmm. She sucks.
Like, I'll be honest, the only kind of period piece of media I can think of recently that woven semi-modern music into its timeline was probably Red Dead 2.
Even then, like it's so like
because it's only a couple of songs, and it actually scenes.
Yeah, and it works with like the atmosphere and the setting. Mm-hmm. Like the house building song is super modern, but I could totally see like a bunch of campfire cowboys playing that exact same song in their period. So,
I mean, I think again because I watched the Bounty today. That's an excellent example of the 1700s, and you have Ben Gellis doing the soundtrack for it with synths and all that. But what he's not doing is, let me just do some flourishes and then bring in some 80s hair metal singer to do something or whatever. I mean, it's not of its time. It's very much he's trying to establish a tone and all that. And I think you could do that with the music. The singing has got to go.
Mm-hmm.
As Jam was talking about, like the title song, that's fine. Go ahead and sing that. I don't have a problem with that. It's everywhere else in the episode that I have to hear these fuckers.
Imagine if Kimber's like, she got the clap. I'll take that chance.
Yeah. Joke's on you, so do I.
It's all right. I've got it too. So does my wife.
What's one? Maybe he just looked over. He's like, "Well, what's one more STD?"
Yeah. Never mind.
I mean, truth be told,
anyway.
though, I find it a little odd that he didn't get like really pissed off at that, because he's like, you handed me somebody, you actually considered sending me somebody who had an STD. Are you serious? I'd have been kind of pissed off at that.
Well, it kind of is, because he doesn't shake his hand or anything.
But I mean, like, to the level of where it's like, are you trying to get me killed? Are you trying to, like, how bad are you trying to hurt me? Deals off. Like, I would think that would be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think it's funny though, because like, it's just the way that Kimber, it's just the way that Kimber's facial expression is. It's like, oh my god! Like I don't think he could like kind of comprehend like what just happened, or maybe that's what he was thinking of. Like, oh my god! Like I almost got an STD. Like maybe I didn't.
You could
know.
hear his dick recede into his body as the lines were going.
Yeah. He's like, it's like, yeah. About to get my game on in this pool table here, and then all of a sudden it's just once he hears that
about to add a pocket to this pool table.
Oi, you just ruined my pool stick.
Yeah, then he dropped his pool cue.
Yeah. Which
it'd be funny if he before he walked out of the room, he just grabbed some chalk and it's like, this is good for now.
Time to chalk up the hands. There we go.
I mean, his wife's right there. You know, he could be like, "Hey, so I was gonna do this thing to her on this pool table here. Mind if I do the same thing?"
Oh, she would just be talking about her fucking hats and always.
I made this.
Yeah, like I think the wife is like you could argue she's a little better looking, but it's like she is really annoying. So
Kimber's wife.
I was an independent woman.
I was a millionaire.
I was gonna ask Bex about what she thought about Kimber's wife.
Don't care. Like she was just there. Like she didn't.
Please tell me her actual name is like Lee. Wait a minute! I just realized there are two foes: are Kimber and Lee. It's Kimberly.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
Wait, whose last name's Lee?
Isn't that like the name of the other people they're up against?
Chinese?
Oh, the
Lees.
Lees.
Or whatever.
No, it's the other gypsies.
Yeah, they're other gypsies. I thought they were Chinese at first, but then I realized I don't see any Chinese people other than the people who did the little ritual at the beginning.
Yeah, no, those are the gypsies they got into at the fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
at the beginning of episode 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, watch. She sees Grace walking out. She's like, yank.
Yeah. It's like, don't get too close. I don't want.
I gotta wash that door handle now.
Yeah.
You know that cooch juice on my doorknob.
Well, imagine having to clean that pool table.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna have to refelt this thing.
He's got to buy a whole new one. You know, I mean, look how big that house is.
Yeah.
Which I think that kind of was a point too, where like he has to boast about how big his house is, and it's like, oh, you know, he's not really like that. He's
a ladies' man. What are you talking about? He
wants to try and woo-hoo. Yeah. 10 shillings I do it in the first hour.
Yep. Well, I mean, you know, I guess graping still counts. That's...
Kimberly carrying to the valley. Dari family. Next, did you show Vex the meme? Oh, I did not. Oh, Vex, hold on. I've got something too. Thank you for reminding me, Yakub. Hold on.
Make like a tree and reeve.
But not Christopher.
No.
Christopher Reeve.
I mean, they're both pretty still, but
yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's no wind blowing through them.
This is entirely irrelevant. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Let me. Let's see. What do I do here? Let me stop sharing.
Also, just like what did Grace think was going to happen to her when, like, her being upset at the end of the episode was just like, Dude, you work in a bar in literally a slum where, like, literally every day you're getting propositioned by drunkards. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, not only that, but the barkeep said, "No, you're too attractive here. They'll have you up against the wall."
Right. So,
Very
like, I'm just
clearly
like,
did that. She said, "No, I'll sing to them." I was like, "Well, go ahead and sing to Kimber, see if that works."
Well, keep in mind she is playing. I mean, she's a spy, so she's playing it up.
Yeah.
So how much
No,
of this is real? I don't know yet. So
I get that she's a spy, but I'm just like, I'm going in line with like the undercover character that she's had so far, and the undercover character she's had so far has been propositioned and attacked and all of that stuff. And it's like, what did you expect this?
I think a
shady
woman
man to do
reacting irrationally is realistic.
It's very much.
I mean, seriously, I don't find her reaction unrealistic at all. I'm like, no, that's how it would be.
I just feel like this show is like playing it way too soft with her. When as Jamma said, she definitely would have been graped by now, hands down, with some of the people she's hanging around. So she's just got plot armor or hands on,
But what about this meme though, Vex?
Why would I fight Orlok though? Is
because he's got a cockroach on him.
He's being controlled by the cockroach now.
Yeah,
this is something my husband pointed out to me, which I have no answer to. Is in the movie Nosferatu, when we see Orlok's corpse in the thing, he's got roaches and stuff crawling on him. So why would I be scared of a roach?
Yeah, it's just
Orlok?
making it more realistic.
Yeah, and I didn't have an answer for that. So
because you're a woman and that idea, I definitely want that. The reality is always rather different than whatever.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
You know, a little roach here, a little peen rot.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because didn't the first palmetto bug crawl on Orlok, right?
Yeah,
it did. Yeah, it did.
So. Apparently, you and the roach share proclivities, so you know.
Yeah. Should have done a piss bump. So.
My nigga.
He's like, I'm not a cockroach for what I have. I'm a cockroach for what I like.
Waylon, she's had like 3 more apparently.
Yeah.
3 altogether. 3
altogether.
altogether.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, being made friends with a roach, he'd have demanded that you turn on Asmongold so he can watch.
I'm his home.
Yeah. The song of my people.
There is something I want to address, not including this.
Is it Waylon's last comment?
I mean, it is in that realm, yes. I mean, I guess we already kind of talked about this or mentioned it earlier, where it's like, you know, he kind of, the way it ends, and it's like, it's right here, and it's like, what changed? Well, stay tuned for episode 4, and that's about it.
Yeah, this is such a nothing episode. Like, literally nothing of value happened here. It felt like all the characters were stagnant and just going through the motions. And yeah, as Goodwin has mentioned, it's like the writers thought they were trying to do something, and because you introduce so many plot lines and so many characters so quickly into the show, you inevitably run into this wall where it's like you can tell that they're giving more weight to some characters and plots than others, so they don't know how to perfect the balancing act. So
yeah, they also you know, I mean, there are plenty of examples of a simple interaction you know, carrying weight and being informative about like the relationship of the character, whatever. You don't even have to have lines for that shit. These motherfuckers got to sit here and have a dialogue, and even then it's like, and nothing came of this. You just wasted my time.
No, what I was going to mention, maybe as a last story before we end the stream, is Vex, you want to tell Waylon and the folks here know about the cockroach saga as it's kind of beginning here for the Peaky Blinders series. What you did with the most recent cockroach you came across?
sorry, what was that?
Do you want to tell the fine folks watching what you did with the most recent cockroach you came across?
Okay. So the last palmetto I found, right? Because they're palmettos, they're not cockroaches, right? Like technically, like they're not the same thing. I don't know. Anyways, So I was walking from the kitchen to like
are,
the
in fact,
gaming
the same
room.
thing.
Oh, they are, but like,
Yeah.
isn't one bad and one isn't that bad?
No, they're all bad. Again, it's well, if South Carolina said, our state insect is the cockroach, nobody would be interested. But they go, no, it's the palmetto bug. Oh, that sounds so exotic.
Well, it's like cockroaches are usually like a symptom of like not taking care of your house, whereas palmettos are like just naturally occurring in Florida. And
so,
they're like
so
they
are
just get into your
cockroaches
house.
everywhere. They're naturally occurring. They will eat anything.
But they're
It's
not
the
like
reason they're in your
disease.
house is because they eat. No, they don't carry disease. Cockroaches just eat shit, and people are like, "What the fuck? Get out of here!"
Vex is never going to go to South Carolina now because that's literally the palmetto state.
It is the palmetto state. And their
Like,
state
what?
insect is the palmetto bug.
I ain't gonna lie though. I drove through South Carolina just a few years ago. It's like it looks like a palmetto state.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
anything
Okay,
outside
but
of Charleston.
So
Mhm.
I felt like I was walking from the kitchen to like the gaming room, and I just like I noticed there was just like one just like on his back, like flailing his legs up. So like I squished him in some paper towel, and then I put him in the freezer, and I think he had a baby with him, and I squished that and put it in the freezer too. And I because this is what Nick asked, why did you do that? I put it in the freezer because the bathroom that I was closest to, like the toilet was just not flushing properly that day, and I didn't want it to just like be floating in there. So I just put it in the freezer and threw it out a couple days later so like it wouldn't come back and haunt me or anything. And I was too lazy to walk to the master bathroom to flush it.
I'm just imagining like this, like A Bug's Life, but Goodfellas, and like the cockroaches are stuck in the freezer.
Richard Kowicki and he just kind of frozen bodies. I'm going to put this in the park later. They'll never know when I killed him.
You like swat the bug on
yeah.
a wall. It's like it felt funny.
You know what is funny though is like after that third palmetto I found, like suddenly, okay, like this is just like a guilty pleasure and a bad habit of mine, but the only thing I use Facebook for is Facebook Reels, and all of my Facebook Reels became Florida memes of people finding palmettos.
Oh my god.
That's all my Facebook Reels became and still are. So why didn't I throw it in? Because I didn't want it to come back if I threw it in the trash. Like I thought it was like, because there's that thing where cockroaches don't die at all. I thought the palmettos were like that too.
Well,
I love the idea of your husband opening the freezer and just turning it and goes, "Does this look like dead palmetto storage to you?" Was there a sign?
He doesn't notice those things.
My wife's turning into a cockroach serial killer here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want me to mount these on the wall, or
right? Yeah.
Call the taxidermist.
In my defense, Waylon, like I do usually flush them. It's just in this moment, the toilet wasn't flushing properly, and I didn't want to walk to the other one.
You could dress one in like a black trench coat, dress the other as a cop, dress the other in like a Radio Shack uniform, and call them the 3 flavors palmetto.
There you go. It's the palmetto trilogy.
But I'm back in Canada, so there won't be any palmettos for a very long time.
Well, we can send you some.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm pretty sure the roaches never die thing doesn't count if you actually kill them.
Yeah, that's generally it's a point about their toughness towards radiation.
Yeah, they don't resurrect.
Not that they're invulnerable and immortal.
I think I conflate it with ticks because we have like common ticks up here that if you step on them, if you try to pierce them with anything, they just don't die. So you have to put them in the freezer in a bag to kill them.
No, you can burn them. They die real quick that way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not just going to start a fire and potentially burn down everything, but
just throw them in like a little candle or something.
Well, that just shows you're not willing to go all the way.
Yeah.
We do. We found a tick one time on our friend's dog, and we picked it out with a pair of tweezers, and we found a candle, and we just fucking burned it right over the candle.
They go pop.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you get them off. A lot of times you heat up a hot needle and put it on them, and
Yep.
With
When I
film.
worked in
You poke
government,
the
that's what they
skin.
taught us to
And
do.
right
is,
before
like,
you go, now I'm going to show you what I already know.
That's right.
they told us like don't burn it. They trained us to take it off with the tweezers and either put it in a container or put it in a Ziploc bag. And if you need to get rid of it immediately, put it in a freezer. That's what the government taught us to do.
Why are you listening to the Canadian
Well, your
government?
government is not the best listener.
I was
you
working
know
there,
that.
and that's what they told us to do.
Yeah, and they were like,
Okay.
and then sign up for maid service to in case you have Lyme disease or something.
You want to know something really funny about Canada, which this is kind of off topic. So because gas prices are so high, right? So on April 1st and October 1st, hold on, we do it by liter instead
they're
of
gay.
gallon.
They're
Oh.
metric.
Yeah.
They're
It's
not a
fine.
real country.
Give me I'll do the conversion. It's fine. What is it by liter?
Okay, right now it's $1.79 per liter.
Woo, that's over $5.
Per
That's actually,
gallon.
let's say you said $1 what?
$1.79.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's $7+
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
a lot.
Literally the last 10 years, on every April 1st and almost every October 1st, we have a new carbon tax, where basically they just add more money to gas, right? For the environment or some shit. But so they just added one this past April, this new liberal government. And today our prime minister was like, oh, we're going to suspend 30 to 40 cents off of gas starting on April 20th till September 1st. And I was like, cool. So that means it's still going to be high because you just implemented another carbon tax anyways. That doesn't make a fucking difference.
Yeah, it's almost $7. It's like $6.78.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is kind of gross.
That's the cheaper area too, because I'm not even like in Toronto. In Toronto, it's probably well over 2 in all honesty.
God, damn.
Yeah.
Insane.
Remember,
So-
the carbon they're trying to eliminate is you.
Mhm.
Exactly. So yeah, I
any
usually
cows up
drive
there?
down. Pardon?
You have any cows up there?
In the Midwest.
It's more an
not-
Alberta thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually drive down in the summertime, but I can't fucking drive down with gas prices like that on top of the already horrendous conversion between Canadian and American.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
That's what you get for living in a third world country.
Yeah.
Waylon asks, what's going to happen if Vex visits her homeland?
My homeland is Canada, unfortunately. I was born here.
Yeah. She's
I
not,
haven't been to Sri Lanka yet, where my parents are from, because of just the consistently unstable political climate. So and it's not really safe.
Would you ever want to visit or no?
Oh, I would love to visit. I would absolutely love to visit, but it's just the political climate is not really safe. So
I mean, that makes sense.
Well, look, it's a civil war. It sounds very pleasant, So
Yeah.
civil.
Yeah.
and
For God's
I
sake.
am of the ethnicity that is being slaughtered in civil wars.
So don't go. Yep. Stay in Florida. Or
Don't
Canada,
go,
I guess.
yeah. But it's
So-
it's crazy because if I do go, I would be like a millionaire over there because it's so cheap to live like a king in Sri Lanka.
Conversions and all.
Mm-hmm,
Well, yeah, I guess we'll see how episode 4 turns out. I mean, I'll be curious to see what you guys think, and then I remember most of what happens in episode 4, but still fuzzy on a couple things. But
I'd have to read the summary to remind us, because this. So there were points of this episode that I conflated with a later episode, where I was kind of like, "That's it." And then I thought about it, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a later thing." But the run-in with the Lees, I recalled having more incidents than just one guy in the bathroom kind of thing, and that's a later episode.
Yeah,
where the Peaky Blinders get involved a bit more directly with multiple people.
Yeah, the next episode has some interesting points to it, which I could see why it is. It is a bit higher rating from the other ones. Also kind of looking at who wrote these 3 episodes. So if it was just Stephen Wright who wrote the first 3 episodes, then it was just him. Whereas in episode 4 is Stephen Knight and Stephen Russell. 5 is Stephen Knight and Toby Finlay. And then episode 6 is just Stephen Knight by himself again. Different directors though. First 3 are directed by the same guy, Otto Bathurst, and then episodes 4, 5, and 6 are directed by a guy named Tom Harper. So, which again I think is interesting too, for the sake of the style of these 3 episodes compared to the other ones, which I'm a little gray on. I mean, I've always appreciated the cinematography of this in the setting of the show, but for the sake of who did what directing wise, I don't quite remember.
Generally, directors on TV shows, unless maybe they're kind of, I mean, you could argue maybe if an episode is almost like structured like an episode of Sherlock or it's its own thing, you could maybe argue the director matters there, but otherwise it's really kind of down to the writers. I mean, for crying out loud, Rian Johnson was at the helm for like 3 of the best episodes of Breaking Bad, and they have nothing to do with him.
Well, I'd say for the sake of like the later seasons, like so like season 2, all 6 episodes are directed by the same person. Season 3, different person, but all episodes that are directed by that person. The same thing happens with 4, with 5, and the same person who directed season 5 also directed season 6. So, you know, it is.
I mean, it's good to have continuity, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's maybe. Really gonna, like, your writer and your showrunner is gonna matter far more.
Yeah,
for sure. So, yeah, we will never cover Young Sherlock, which I may go watch at some point in time, but I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since I've even watched the original, or not the original, but the Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman Sherlock. I haven't watched that in a while. I think since it first aired, honestly. So,
yeah, I mean, I've seen it all, and it's, like I said, it's entertaining. It's just, it's very often, more often than not, it's pretty stupid.
Yeah,
it cheats a lot.
Oh my god,
it cheats a ton. Like, a lot of Sherlock's genius just relies on him sounding smarter than you. It's not really based on anything being hidden in plain sight from you. So it's not really deductions. It's just information you don't previously have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say this, I hate to say it because there are enjoyable things about the first episode, but it's kind of that first episode is a great tone setter for how much bullcrap that show has. literally, like, the villain is like giving somebody a 50-50 chance, and his whole thing is, yeah, but I can read them. It's like, how? I just can. Like,
trust me, bro.
Okay. It's really stupid.
That ketchup stain on your dress leads me to
like, they build it in a way where it sounds kind of cool, but it's just like, nah, you don't go anywhere with this.
It does shit like, you know, somehow Sherlock has robo microscope vision. Just, you know, like, glances at the thing. It's like playing a video game. Okay, that thing lit up. I better go check that and see things that, you know. And then, oh look, he's thinking. Let's just have computer graphics kind of weaving around, showing him doing the puzzle or whatever, and then he jumps to a ludicrous conclusion. I mean, it's very Rian Johnson glass onion kind of crap. But
well, even Sherlock he betrays his own words, like, even in that episode, because the guy's saying, like, he can read it and everything, and the guy's like, and Sherlock's telling him the whole time, he's like, it's just chance, it's 50-50 chance, and then after it's kind of resolved itself, and he's like, he goes, by the way, did you know which one it was? Oh, of course I did. Child's Play. I was like, well, then it's not chance then. Right, it's not chance. If you can do it, why can't he do it?
Yeah.
And of course, they never tell you the mechanism which would allow them to do either. So it's like, this is totally cheating. There's nothing to this.
Never bet with a Sicilian when death is involved.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's Sherlock, everybody became enamored by Bandersnatch Cumberbund and his acting. And Holmes is pretty good. But no, if you actually pay attention to the story, it's like, this is some dog shit.
Yeah.
It just needs to go away.
It's like the performances are fun. There's good music. Like, I'll give it. There's a really good soundtrack. There's a really nice aesthetic. The characters are acted well, and they're pretty fun to see them. The banter it's entertaining, but
good chemistry.
The actual plot mechanics are really retarded.
Yeah. Should be BBC. I'm sure.
I just not that kind of BBC. Should be.
And I'll say it like the plot line that everybody was hanging, like
Moriarty. Oh my god!
Yeah, they do the Reichenbach fall thing, where he looks like he's dead. And it's like, okay, so they're going to explain what he did in the beginning of the next season. Everybody was anticipating it, and it was horrible. Holy crap. It was so bad.
It was such a clown show.
And that was kind of the episode where a lot of people were like, they started to think, kind of catch on. It's like, wait a minute, this show's really full of crap, aren't they? And like their excuse was, well, there were a lot of good fan theories and we didn't want to settle on one. It's like, you have to. I'm sorry. You kind of have to, because otherwise there's nothing to this. You need to explain this one. Nah.
Somehow Moriarty returned as a part in the cloud.
Well, even Sherlock returning was bad enough, and it's like then they did the Moriarty thing. It's like, what? Are you serious? Like, honestly, like the one episode they did that I guess was intriguing in a way was, I guess, the beginning of, I think it was like the end of season 3 where Lars Mikkelsen was the villain. I thought that was all kind of cool. But yeah, where they took that was kind of stupid. I was like, you should have just made him the villain. Number one, the guy who plays Moriarty, I'm like, he's kind of hit and miss. I don't really like their version of Moriarty. But if Lars Mikkelsen had played Moriarty like that character, I'd have been like, that would have been awesome. Because Lars Mikkelsen, he is criminally underutilized. Right. He's almost as good an actor as his brother. He's a really good actor. And watching him like bully Martin Freeman in that scene, I was like, gosh, this guy, he's pretty hateful. Like, he kind of is like, almost reminds you of like, everyone hated Umbridge for a similar reason, but I'm like, yeah, but this is a guy doing that kind of bullying, and he should be above it because he's actually doing it to adults and he's doing it effectively. It's like, gosh, why wasn't he your main villain?
Wait, wasn't Mikkelsen in Ahsoka? Wasn't he Thrawn?
Unfortunately.
Why'd you bring that up?
It was all part of my plan.
Failure was part of the plan.
Exactly. Wanted to lull them into a false sense of security by letting them destroy my entire army.
God.
And then what? That was as far as the plan got.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I didn't think this whole thing through.
let me go eat at the buffet and see.
Neither did Dave Filoni. Oh man. Well, it was fun talking about this, regardless of not being the best episode, of course. And
you could argue this is the first episode of any show we've covered that's just mid. It's just very mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would have been like champagne offered in the desert while we were watching Alien Earth.
That's very true.
Heck, even Primal season 3. Like, oh my gosh. It's so funny talking about this in a mid episode of this show. It's like kind of disappointing, but if we had gotten there with Primal, we'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we finally got a mediocre episode. It's great. What a breath of fresh air. 5 out of 10.
We've been aspiring to mid this entire season, and we finally got one.
That would actually be a great way to end a review. What a breath of fresh air. 5 out of 10.
It's indescribably beautiful. 5 out of 10.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it really was like that episode of Primal where the animators showed up because they were looking for jobs and would have a good demo reel. And you're like, oh, this is great. Oh, God, we returned to the sludge.
Ahsoka. Waylon got.
I think they call that a
two
bidet
minutes
in
left.
some countries.
Yeah, the plot after dark was we got loose last night.
Peaky scrotums.
Yep.
Yeah, the peaky scrotums.
The peaky scrotums.
Ashoka, Dave Filoni, Dave Scrotum Loney.
He doesn't have a scrotum. Stop it.
Yeah,
No, he
true.
doesn't.
Let's dog eat it.
Doesn't. The stupid
This is
gay cowboy hat.
Yeah.
The good thing is that you can find it on replay.
Yeah. If you'd like to know, I can tell you.
Yeah. So a funny story after we ended the stream. It was just Blue Whale and I chit chatting for a couple more minutes, and we were just talking about streaming, and then all of a sudden I was about to say something, and boom, all the power, my entire block just shuts off, and I'm like,
Oh wow.
okay. And it's like 2:30 in the morning, right? And so I go out in my living room and I'm like, yeah, no, like everything's off. I'm like, this is okay. And I just checked my breakers just in case. I'm like, nope. And then go outside, street lights are off. I'm like, but only on one side of the street, on my side of the street. I'm like,
Blow a transformer.
yeah, it's kind of what I think happened. And then
Usually you hear that. It's very exciting.
yeah, and I'm like, maybe I just didn't hear because we were chatting and I had my in-ears in, but it wasn't out for very long. That I kind of was like walking around, and then which actually looked kind of cool in terms of just how pitch black it was. And I was in my parking garage because I was trying to get something from my car, and when I realized, this parking garage is literally pitch black. If I did it on my phone here, I wouldn't be able to see a damn thing. And it's like this would be the perfect, horror story for something that I can't see, but yet I hear it runs up and tackles me. I have to fight for my life. That's some sort of alien creature, like a face hugger or or like Tentacles, whatever. But
I'll just throw a ball. The xenomorph will just go chase it. It's a dog now, so it's fine.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it was only out for maybe a half hour or something like that. But by that time, I was like, yeah, it's time to go to bed. Shippy, what's up, dude? $2 for the here's a
Scrote chat. All right.
the Shippy.
Hashtag save the turtles.
Yes.
Chat. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Hashtag save the turtles for Molly.
Exactly.
Hey, Shippy, you know where that goes? It goes in the Escrote account.
I hear eating turtles. Well, let me ask you this: is eating turtle soup a good thing or a bad thing? Really, let's be real about it.
I mean, I've never tried it, but I would. I don't see anything morally wrong with it.
It's a pretty delicious thing if done right.
Yeah,
I feel like if you eat
this stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe more like Bland, the more turtle soup you eat.
That's right. It's either that or Red Band. I mean, you got to pick.
Well, listen, it
lasted longer than 5 hours.
It was a little over than 5 hours.
5.5.
Yeah. We're like, it's what? Listen, I'm proud of Sammy for staying up all until about 1 o'clock. He did not fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, Sammy had the good sense to go, all right, I've had enough of this shit.
Yeah.
It's time to check out.
And we kept riffing, and everyone in the fucking chat is going off, which is amazing. But then it's like, all right, it's Blue, like, all right, well, it's 1:30, and I'm like, yeah, let's kind of, all right, let's wrap it up. Then yeah, now it's 1:45. Now it's 2. Now it's 2:15. Now it's 2:30. And I mean, there's a lot of things that were said that Vex, you would have had a very good lesson in learning things last night.
It's true. Yeah, it was a leering moment.
Yeah, which maybe we decided to save some things for the birthday stream, of course.
Vex was never on. She bailed to begin with.
No, I'm here. I'm starting to get sleepy, and they're
talking about yesterday.
Oh, I
The stream
flew
you were
home
supposed
yesterday.
to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know she wasn't gonna be able to make it, but there's a lot of stuff a lot of informative stuff that we talked about that you would have appreciated. Yeah, but we were like,
Molly coming in with the story about the old lady who had her gather turtles and not knowing that she was actually cooking them was pretty funny.
That was, yeah.
There was a lot of material to play with there.
It was, yeah, and we exhausted it as best we could.
Because I was telling Whitey this morning, I was like, if I'm not on the show, then Blue has to be on, because I'm in the chat just trying to bait him into laughing. That's
yes.
I love doing it. I think it's so much fun. And if I can just get him to lose it like 1, 2, maybe 3 times, I've done my job.
I love the moment that you see him read it.
Yeah.
And you just see it hit him, and I was like, got him.
Yeah. Because my eyes are like, okay, they're on chat, they're on my notes, and then like I look at the panel, and the moment I see like something pop up as the chat's moving in my peripheral, then I look at Blue and I just see him like he'll kind of be sitting like this, like sitting up straight like this, and go, fucking pumpkin, I hate that son of a bitch. You know?
What the fuck did we get him where he was like, oh my God, I'm crying. I haven't cried laughing in so long.
Oh God, yeah.
I remember the one where Molly said that I thought she befriended them. And I said she befriended them minus the BEFRI.
Yeah.
That was a good one, yeah. He's just ending them.
She ended them.
She ended them. I mean, technically, it was all Waylon's fault because that led to Molly coming in the right time as we were talking about the script change from Unforgiven when.
Well, she came in about 5 to 10 minutes after you started talking about the script change, which was an entirely different conversation. She was like, what the hell did I just walk into? And I was like,
yeah,
it's very obvious. I mean, there was some script changes, and then we've got the scrotums. There we go. That's
yeah, shooting turtles, and then she decided to tell us about her turtle story, and then also that that's right, we were talking about how female streamers have it tough.
Yeah, we were talking about the nipple reveals.
the boob slippage and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which Vex, I don't know why you haven't done that yet, but
Done what? Had a nipple out on stream?
Yeah.
Because I'm not a whore. That's why.
That's true. Yeah, it was like having like half a boob out on purpose. I'm like, oh, whoops, and no, they don't get suspended for it or anything like that. And it's just like,
actually, you know what? Had the 2 times that I wore a tank top for a long period of time on my live streams, those actually got limited monetization.
Really?
Yep. So I put them behind the member wall.
You put your boobs behind the member wall?
Yep.
A whole wall of members.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I donate a member to the cause? Yeah, the Shippy brought up was Waylon. No, Shippy, the best part was Blue's fucking super chat taking a shot at Waylon when he was
that was a good one too. Yeah, that one.
It's like he's coming for my crown. But God, when Blue tossed that fucking super chat,
that was
everybody on the panel saw it, was laughing except Waylon, who's still talking.
Dude, I tried to compose myself so well, but I couldn't do it.
It's like he doesn't know, but every second that passes makes it funnier.
It only makes it funnier.
Oh man. Oh God. Yeah, that's how the scrote came to be, and the scrote cam.
Yeah.
So. It's all right, Waylon. You get your second and third chance on some more westerns. Waylon's like, I hate westerns now. I'm never recommending a Western to be covered in masculine monies ever again. Oh man. But
the hilarious time, every time Waylon says eat my whole entire ass, as I immediately think of Harlem Nights when Della Reese says kiss my whole entire ass. I'm thinking of Waylon trying to say that would amuse me greatly.
Yeah, accents and all. Accent and all. So okay, well, we are going to end it here. I will I'll be streaming with ABF on Wednesday tomorrow. And then I will be I might play a new game Thursday. I might play some Sea of Thieves, do some pirating. I'll switch it up a bit.
That's a perfect segue into my video for tomorrow.
Pirating?
I'm dropping a video tomorrow about a movie that is about pirates.
Ooh.
It's not good, but
interesting. Okay.
I've got a video dropping tomorrow for the Amazon Prime movie, The Bluff, starring Carl Urban and Priyanka Chopra Jonas. I think that's how you say her name.
Priyanka. Oh, I love your American accent.
Yeah. I tried to give that as much Southern as I could.
Yeah,
I was like, I sure as I ain't gonna try to say it right.
Priyanka.
Ooh. I'm not going to affect that.
Yeah, I don't know about a chupacabra with priapism. That's something.
Chupacabra Chopra.
I mean, given how much scene
I should have called her
that.
He's actually called the guy who plays Boba Fett is also in it, and I'm trying he has like a really weird name, and let me see. Hang on, real quick. Yeah, it's like his name. It's like his first name is let's see, Timura or something like that.
Yeah, Timura.
But his last name's like Morrison. So I just called him. I just called him Tiramisu Morrison.
Yeah. Or Timu.
I wish I had called her Chupacabra. That would have been so much better.
That's why you need to run the shit by me. I'll come up with some stuff for you.
I need a second look through this to see if there's any jokes.
Yeah, is there any comedic value that I haven't mined on this one? Yeah, I noticed there's a bit of a chupacabra option here. And so.
But yeah, that'll be dropping tomorrow.
Nice. I have not seen The Bluff, but
about 5:00 Eastern.
Okay.
True that.
Ooh, I'll probably miss that one because I'll be on Browns.
Or Brown.
Yeah, I might miss that as well. Yeah.
Not because she's on Brown, just because.
Because she is Brown.
Because she is Brown.
Yeah.
I might be late because I'm Brown.
Par for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on Brown, but not Vex.
And then I'll be doing another episode of I guess again going with the Nick at Noon on Friday. Got a couple ideas for topics I want to talk about. Might be targeting an actor or two, and some statements that they said that I disagree with when it comes to what men should be. So in Hollywood, Theo James. But we'll see.
Are you going to discuss the Ruby Rose, Katy Perry vagina?
That was another topic that I bookmarked because and
the Lord of the Rings, some casting got confirmed at Cinema.
I saw that and been trying to hold my tongue because stupid as fuck. But that's
it's playing out exactly like I thought it would.
Yep.
It's a bad idea on its face, though, if we're honest.
That's kind of been the point. It's you start with a shit idea. You might as well honestly, just lean into it.
Yeah. You could cast it well, and it would still be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, do I want to talk about it on stream or make a video? But we'll see. So
I'm still waiting on the other video, man.
I am still working. Yes. No. That Lord of the Rings video I'm still working on. I'm still tuning the script, so to speak.
Lord of
but-
Ring Gollum, is that the video?
I mean, it's the best adaptation we've had.
Lord of
Jackson.
Ring for Xbox One. Yep.
Yeah.
Lord of Ring Gollum is that's what we want a video
Lord
on.
of the Nose Ring.
The Lord of
just
Ring.
no, just Lord of Ring. That's all it needs.
There's a running gag on BSUP where one of the viewers always super chats that he wants Platoon to play Lord of Ring on the Xbox One specifically.
Yes.
Is it especially bad on Xbox One? That's what I'm wondering. I know
Lord of Ring is
She
not a
did,
game,
Gamma.
so
No.
Well, okay, well, no.
Vex is not aware of where that comes
It
from.
is. It actually.
So, the
okay.
Lord of the Rings Gollum, the game,
The game is
allegedly,
terrible.
comes out. It is a complete shit show.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, Platoon
German
played
company
it,
that
I
put it
remember.
out then decided to use ChatGPT to write their apology, and in the apology, they call it the Lord of Ring Gollum.
Mhm.
And so it's just been a running.
That's
meme.
where the Lord of Ring Gollum is
oh
coming.
my
Yeah.
god. Wait, so then Platoon has already fulfilled because he did play Lord of the Rings.
Not on the
anthology.
Xbox One or
Xbox
whatever the
One,
very
yes.
specific platform.
Okay.
Yeah, he probably played it
Dang.
on PC, but
He did,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
actually,
Hmm.
speaking of Platoon, I think they dropped a trailer for the game he helped work on, that Judas game.
I
Oh, have
just
they?
saw it pop up on my feed, so some news must have come out. Yeah.
Yeah, like I bookmarked it. There's a little video trailer for it, so I'm like, I'll be watching that later because I mean, it's got a lot of like BioShock's mechanics and stuff, but it looks pretty polished and looks pretty cool.
Mm.
Just don't be like Infinite. Platoon.
No.
You know your job.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's a woman of taste, perhaps.
Well, kind of
She's a
fishy.
lesbian.
Yeah.
Is she a lesbian if she identifies as non-binary? What does that make her?
I don't
Ruby
know.
identifies as unemployed, so whatever the hell you want her to be, she'll be.
You're right.
That's very
Yes.
true. That's very true. So, but Jacob, when you see you're gonna be on Mr. Brown's channel tomorrow, right? And
Yeah.
then I think you're gonna be on
Maybe on Romans.
Roman the
Yeah,
Emperor.
covering the Octagon.
Yes, I did see that
Chuck
on
Norris.
Thursday night. Yep. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Mr. Chuck
Mhm.
Norris. Vexy, what you got going on this week?
I'm editing videos, and tomorrow I'll be on Broken Crown talking politics. So
Oh,
that's about. I
Politics.
still got a video in the works. It's coming. It's just money is more important.
understandable. Understandable. Sorry, Waylon. Well, drink up. But yeah, I'll see people maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and if not those days, then next Monday we're talking True Romance
Yeah.
on
Nice.
Massive Mondays, and actually it might be on Nihat's Sunday stream.
Yeah,
now
I'm
that
looking
he's
forward to
back.
that. I get to beat up
Yeah.
a bunch of people's inner children over Terminator
What's the
2.
first movie on the return?
Terminator 2.
Ooh.
He sends me the list, and I was like, "Oh, brother, I am so fucking there."
I'm gonna make time for that.
I was
one
like, in
then.
fact, just list me for all of them because I'm here for it.
That was the one where I thought about, like, I was like, do I want to be in that one or do I want to watch that one? Like, I kind of want to watch that one. So like, I'll opt out of the argument part and just like, no, I want to see it.
I gotta rewatch those first two movies because I have almost no recollection of either of them, but I'm aware of Goodwin's hot take. So
I mean, the right take. It's, I mean, even Nick said that when Drinker was on, and Drinker was like, hold up, whatever. And I was like, no, it's a children's movie. And he started to get into it. He was like, we can't argue this right now. We'll be here for hours. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Let's put a pin on that for the time being. All right. But yeah, that'll be fun. T2 is awesome.
It is like Brave Little Toaster.
T2 is like, here's the thing. I don't necessarily entirely disagree with calling it a kids movie to an extent, but it's the best kids movie.
It's the most violent kids movie, maybe?
movie. What the?
Well, because basically you have it's centered around John Connor, and the Terminator is kind of like a pet.
Yeah, my pet Terminator is what I called it when I saw
it. I really got it. Okay, now I have a new goal. I got to finish all these videos before Sunday so I can watch T1 and T2 again.
Like T1 is more for the grown-ups, and T2 is a good I still think T2 is a great film. But it's a movie you kind of can show a kid, even though it's got some R-rated aspects. Like it's kind of like a great R-rated sort of kids movie. I kind of see the point.
It's kind of the difference between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Mummy.
Yeah.
Oh, but The Mummy's such a good film. It's just a fun film.
You're a child, yes.
It's a fun film. Yeah. That's
if I'm a child, like they had to edit out Rachel Weisz's nipples for Christ's sake.
Which is a bummer, but
that's not an endorsement, actually.
Yeah. No, by the way, children have seen nipples. How the hell do you think they get to be that big?
Most of the main cast was totally bonable.
Oh, that totally convinces me, except for the fucking writing and characters and the way things are shot is remarkably bloodless.
You know what? I won't. I won't stand for this attack on The Mummy. I will like admit that there are definitely writing and pacing issues, but that film is so much fun. It's hard to hate.
Oh, exactly. See, it's fun, like a kid's movie. It's just, it's like Disneyland. Here it is. Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It will give you fucking nightmares.
I don't think it's really demeaning to call The Mummy, to equate it to kind of a ride. I think it's a good ride. I don't think it's like an objectively great film. I think there's enough to call it good, but it's super rewatchable. It's really fun. It's got a ton of charm to it. So, I mean, I love the heck out of it, but do I think it legitimately holds up next to something like, Raiders or Last Crusade? No. Two different.
I would disagree. I think it holds up very well right next to those two movies.
Nah.
Well, you're free to be wrong. It's in no way close.
It's better than Temple of Doom.
Yes, well, that's absolutely true. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. Then again, so are rectal polyps.
Oh my god.
Do you have a lot of experience with rectal polyps?
I mean, you don't need a lot of experience to realize that those are better than Temple of Doom.
I have a lot of experience with Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Next is Avatar.
Anyways.
The first quarter merge is fun. Maybe.
I mean, it's better than rectal palmettos.
Yeah. That I don't recommend those.
True.
Yeah.
Don't stick those up your bum.
What if they go willingly?
You ever heard of movies needing to pass the Bechdel test? Well, there's Temple of Doom doesn't pass the rectal test.
No, it doesn't.
What the fuck is the rectal test for movies? What?
Would you rather insert something in your rectum than watch the movie?
Isn't this okay? Hold on. This rating system and scaling doesn't work for gay people or people that enjoy anal.
Well, that depends. Are we talking about a cactus?
Yeah, we don't want them to watch movies.
Yeah,
there might be people into cactus anal, panal. That's a thing.
Yeah, and there are people that like Temple of Doom too.
I just love the simplicity of panal.
Panal.
It's actual search criterion on a certain hub.
Right. Oh, genres: horror, thriller, panal. Okay,
panal.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Snow bunnies.
Where does this rank? But on the lower end of the rectal scale, this is on the level of panal.
Yeah. This is a saguaro cactus of the.
Okay, so I've looked up Snow Bunny, Waylon. Okay, so it is a young woman who likes skiing or snowboarding.
You might want to keep going on the Urban Dictionary.
Okay, an attractive, flirty young woman who frequents ski slopes and ski resorts.
No,
keep going.
Okay, the white girlfriend of a black man.
There we go.
Or a white woman who prefers black sexual partners.
Go ahead. Keep going.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the latter parts.
That's not really as offensive as I hoped, Oh, that's like Snow Bunnies at least sounds cute. Like
there's far worse terms for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Okay, let me go to Urban Dictionary then. Okay.
Yes, that's what I said.
No, bunny.
Don't-
Urban.
fuck's sake.
Google it. You gotta go to Urban Dictionary.
It's almost like I said, go to the Urban Dictionary.
Okay, so what are some synonyms for this?
I remember we talked about last night. We also talked about the Indian taco.
Mm.
What's an Indian taco? Hold on. Okay, Indian taco. Fry bread featuring taco fixings?
Do it at Urban Dictionary, please.
It's gotta
That
be
is the Urban.
Dictionary.
Oh, the second one on Urban Dictionary. The act of throwing up on a girl while performing oral sex on her. The resulting situation looks like a taco filled with Indian food.
Yep.
You know, I saw a Reddit thread the other day of this poor guy that had gone down on a girl for the first time. And he was like, is the cottage cheese stuff normal on every girl? Poor dude was eating out a yeast infection.
No.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Yeah.
does that qualify as earning your white wings? Is that, I mean,
I don't know. Oh, there's another meaning for Indian taco. Oh my god, this is okay. A popular sexual endeavor in which a male or female fills a magnum condom with fecal matter, curry, and cumin. The recipient then lays flat on their back in a Kansas City Chiefs jersey and howls like an Indian in penetration anticipation of the Indian taco. The taco is inserted backwards by the Indian giver. Is then squeezed out into the recipient. Once the recipient has all the Indian meat, they proceed to vaginally poop it into the Indian giver's fanny pack for later use. The conclusion of the act is marked by the recipient punching the giver square in the poop-filled fanny pack until the giver comes.
I have a feeling that was made up by a Raiders fan. It's like they just made up this elaborate thing and just mock Kansas City Chiefs.
as soon as they said Kansas City Chiefs jersey, I was like, all right, let's go. Let's fucking go.
This is either a Broncos or a Raiders fan. No question about it. It can't be a Chargers fan. They're not nearly creative.
Yeah, they're irrelevant. Nobody cares.
There has to be a level of self-loathing in order to write something like this. So I'm leaning Raiders on this one.
Oh man.
There's two more
I'm
meanings
tears in
for
my eyes.
Indian taco.
Oh no.
Okay, the first one being a sexual act in which a female lays on her shoulders and spreads her vaginal lips open while her sexual partner squats over and defecates into said woman.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
And the last one is specifically too a pocket pussy molded from sun-dried semen.
I better get busy.
Sun-dried semen.
Oh my god, dude.
Well, you want it to be organic, I think. You can't use a dehydrator. You lose the natural essence.
Oh my god.
Those were great.
Were they great? Is that really the adjective we want to apply here?
Yes. Because I was laughing as hard as Blue was last night.
This was quite the plot hole that we stumbled into.
Yes, it was.
Got its own gravity.
Oh boy. Let's we'll follow Jamma's lead. He's going over to our friend AJ who loves the Lion King. Let's go up over. Actually, you know what? Let's tell AJ to look up what Indian tacos are.
Say, may you have an Indian taco.
Yes.
God. Perfect reaction.
I'm so glad I found this picture. It's a great avatar for the right moment.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh, there's plenty of time, so got like 2 months. We got this. Got you. All right, y'all. Listen, that was a great laugh to end on. Shippy, Jamma, everyone else watching, Waylon, good to see you guys. I will catch you guys later. Let's go raid into AJ. Make sure he discovers what the Indian tacos are.
Yeah.